Bonjour. Hello, hello, hello. If you're here in the chat, be sure to say hello, and let's get this started. Hello, that's working. Perfect. What's up, Kat? How are you doing? Right, let's switch this around. Let's move this a second. Buongiorno. We have had a move around. We have moved around my little office studio, and so we have a different angle. You are the first one. You're the first one in the chat completely, Cat. So we have a different angle. We have a very basic webcam for the minute, because last week and the week before that the camera was very hit and miss, so I decided to get rid of it, and we are just got a temporary webcam for a minute until I either decide to buy a camera or something else. I think the angle is just about right. Might be a little bit to the right. That'll do. What's up, Gareth? How you doing? Little random change. So we're going to reboot Cooper today. And can you hear me okay as well? Because I'm guaranteed that none of this is probably going to work correctly, but we'll see. That's working. Let's should we flick it around just to triple check it's working. There we go. Cool. We've got Cooper. And we'll switch back and we're good. Alright, cool. As long as you can hear me okay, that's fine. I can move the mic. Oh, sick. How's it going, Kat? Right. Okay. I might wait a second on Cooper because I think there's a few people that will probably end up joining that will probably want to discuss Cooper and what I'm going to do with it and why I kind of stopped doing it and the frustration with it, and then I've kind of worked out a way of how we can probably get it sort of rebooted again. So for a minute we'll just chat for a second while we wait, just to see the viewers sort of falling a little bit, because I can guarantee there's a few patrons that will be very happy, including yourself, Kat, of seeing Cooper potentially back on your screens. Sorry, I'm just tinkering still. Okay, cool. That's better. I figured something happened with Cooper. He's good, he's fine, but he I'll explain the frustrations with it shortly, but yeah, real sort of pain. So before, in this room, my working desk used to be along this wall, and then I would have the Joel Create desk along that wall, and they were like connected in an L shape, and then this bookshelf was behind you, and I decided to downscale. The desks were enormous, like 200 by 60 down here, a huge deep dark one for the Joel Create space, and I've just downsized both of them, made them a lot smaller, compact it all down, and separate the two completely. So now I've got a working environment and a gaming environment, and a drawing one as well. So Joel Create space completely separate. So yeah, if you're here in the chat, be sure to come and say hello, get involved with the conversation. Let's see who's with us today before we start drawing. You see that up there, Kat? That is a little Red Bull post, as well as another one that's up on the just to the right of that, and that, if I actually pan to the right, see this one up here, this is a signed, bloody hell, Joel, where's your finger going? This is a signed photo, well, a signed piece of art by Max Verstappen, which is pretty cool. Let's just move that into the center a little bit more. So yeah, just a temporary webcam for the minute. I'm not too happy with it because it needs like a boatload of light to be any good. So Troy with the 10 gifted memberships straight in. I don't think there's 10 people here just yet. Troy, I appreciate you as always supporting the stream. Stephen, we are rebooting the Cooper series. So if you're not aware of the Cooper series, it was something I was doing where one thing that's kind of missing from the Joel Create space is that there is, it won't be so much as a draw along tonight. It's more going to be, I'm going to be going backwards and rebooting the series that way instead. But yeah, I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But we're going to, Cooper is a series of Procreate tutorials that you can follow in a sequence that create a story. And it was like a comic book. And so, I'm on dog duty. So you can follow along with the series, create a bunch of designs, and follow along with his story, sort of scene by scene, which was cool. But there was a lot of sort of ups and downs with it in terms of what I had to do. So Troy, again, I appreciate the 10 gifted memberships. I can see them there. I don't think any of them have been gifted yet, by the looks of it. I wonder if they'll trickle in later on. Also, you'll have to let me know if the stream is all good quality-wise. It's running off a different network as well today, so hopefully we're good and there's no dropouts and stuff. Troy, you're an absolute gifting machine. I should probably create. You see at the top of the stream, just above my head, I'll create for next time a new little tally up there for most gifted. And then you'll no doubt be flying up there. You'll be flying up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's switch this around. Let's talk Cooper. Okay, so this was the Adventure of Cooper series. This was the front cover I designed. So the story being so far, where are we up until now? So far, Cooper was in his universe, wherever it was, and he was talking to, who was it? Who did we call her? Did we give her a name? I don't think we necessarily gave her a name, did we? I love you new tip series, by the way. Oh, the tip series. Okay, what the how-to series? I've got a few more coming. Like they're just going to be short, quick, and easy ones that are just going to there's a lot of things that beginners probably don't know, and even if you do know, there's probably another method of doing something that you already know how to do, and maybe an easier way potentially. So it's always good to see those things because they can always help you out. But okay, cool. So where were we? So this was sort of page one. This is loosely designed off of a Procreate, a Patreon design adapted to the series. We then went from that design there to this one here. So you can do this as a tutorial on my YouTube channel. And then Cooper was being dragged into the portal and you can create exactly that design. We then went to this one. Now this one isn't a tutorial and it was a filler, and Cooper's got dragged in to the portal and kicked out the other side. When he's kicked out, imagine it just goes to black. He's falling, and then he was falling into this cavern. This was a tutorial that you can do on the YouTube channel. This was another episode. This then is the next episode where he's gone through. Imagine he's fallen into the cavern, floated downstream, and then he's ended up here. And you can again do this particular one. So he's ended up in open water outside, and there's a storm happening. And then from that storm, we then get Cooper climbing out of the water and up and out to the side, where he then climbs up on top, and then the color scheme changes again. And then he's up on this top, on this cliff side. This was meant to be a cliff side and give you the perspective that it is actually a cliff. Looking down at these massive columns and this sort of vast openness of nothing. We've got a few different suns and planets in the sky. And that's where we kind of got to. Now, I'll explain why her name was Sarah. I think that was correct, isn't it? Aura's a good shout, but her name, she was already gifted a name and it was Sarah, sorry. What's up, Marie? How you doing? I'm sorry, I'm just getting it. Yeah, it's all good, it's all good. Okay, what I wanted to explain was, and the problem is for me to get Cooper from one spot to another spot to then do a tutorial, it felt like I was stuck. How do I get him from one spot to another spot and there actually look like there's some continuation of a story rather than just him in a new scene, you know, and so on. So what I'm going to do is, and this is why I'm rebooting it today, I'm going to put the work in now on stream so that I'm ready to go with the series again. Is the series is going to change in a way. So rather than, again, you go from scene to scene to scene, you know, and so on, what's going to happen is you'll download the pages. So it was always designed to be pages. You can download this exact image here as a Procreate file, and then when you were done with the tutorial, you literally drop it into that space there. So you would drop it into there, like it says here, click to me, and then your design can be, like your actual version, your drawn version can be in the comic. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it up. We're going to change it so that each tutorial is going to be a new page in the series. So Charlie, out. Hi, Tom. I'm telling Charlie to get out for a change because there's a cable running right across here. This little side light that's beautifully lighting up the wonderful trim that my barber gave me today. And if he knocks that over, well, I'll be finding a new one. But anyway, each page of the series is going to be, each tutorial is going to be a new page, sorry. So new tutorial, every single time is going to be a new page. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the filler content to get us from one tutorial to the next one. So for example, Cooper was left on top of this cliff. We ain't done anything with him since. I've got a full storyline that I want to come up with, that he's going to make his way down the cliff. I don't mind talking about it now, actually. He's going to go down the cliff, and when he gets down and he gets closer to these columns, we're going to kind of see him a bit exhausted. When he gets down there, he's a bit exhausted, and as he puts his hand on one of the columns, we're going to get a glimpse of, as he sort of imagine him resting over because he's knackered, and looking down at the floor, there may be a print, like a big paw, not a paw as such, but a big print, a monster print in the ground, in the dirt, and then potentially some claw marks on the column. Then I want to get you to the tutorial. So you'll see those scenes come about with him maybe climbing down the cliffside, the paw in the ground, let's call it a paw still, a paw in the ground, and the claw marks. And then you'll do the last one, which will be the majority of the page. You'll see it as I go through the stream tonight, and then you'll fill in the next tutorial and drop your image in there. So that, and also the other scenes that I'm talking about that are just going to be sort of drawn out in black and white, because you're going to be downloading a Procreate file. You can feel free to color them in if you want to. Those ones are just going to be like little bonus things. If you want to do that with your own time, you go for it. But otherwise, the tutorial will be focused on the main image of that particular page. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot easier for me because I can get you to somewhere to get you to a scene that's then going to be cool. We can't just do, him walking all the time until we get to something cool, because that's just nearly swore. That's just rubbish. So we want to get him from point to point and a good stage and a good scene ready to go. So we're going to build up the scene to that point. So I need to go backwards a little bit now because we're only a few pages in. Redo the series and reboot it. And then potentially I might even download the episodes off of YouTube, delete them off of YouTube, and then re-upload them with the new intro explaining what it is, because I was voice acting it and stuff before. I'm not doing that again, but we'll follow Cooper page by page. I think that's a lot better. What's up, Milo? How are you doing? How's things? So yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. I think it's the best thing for the series. I've desperately wanted to get him back and going, but again, every time I felt blocked. I don't want you drawing something naff as a tutorial just as filler. I want you to get to the good stuff all the time, like the main parts. So let's go ahead and start yabbering for a minute. So the Cooper series has its cover already. We're good with that. I don't want to make anything with that. And so we're going to go straight to page 1, which was this particular one here. So we're still going to do the annotations and stuff. That's all still going to come with us. And Cooper, like these episodes here, except like this one here, for example, this was a Procreate. I keep saying Procreate. This was a Patreon tutorial. I'm going to resketch this in a second, just as line work, so that somebody, again, you can color it in if you want to, but that is going to be mainly, black and white line work that you can fill in, color in how you wish, and go from there. So that's how we're going to reboot the series. I've got to put a little bit of groundwork in, which is a good topic for today, really, to do, and we'll go from there. I think all of page 1 can pretty much be this one here. Cooper, the YouTube tutorial, getting quite close to the portal, and then him being dragged in over here on the right hand side. That's page 1. Page 2 is the aftermath of him falling in. YouTube tutorial. Maybe I'll put a filler in between these two. These two are fine to go back to back, and then this one here. How should we do that? Maybe those two actually need to be on a page. We'll work it out as we go. But this will be a good time for, like Milo said there, to get into the series. It'll be a much better way of doing it. So all that yabbering is now done. Let's get this in. So this is a little background image. So you're just going to see me rework the pages today. I want to get the time in to do it. So the pages are going to be nice and big. I may have to create multiple versions potentially if people need lower. Actually, that's a good shout. Can somebody, so I've got an iPad Pro 11-inch. If you have a sort of older one, or how can I put this, a less spec'd closer version, can you do me a favor really quickly and create a canvas that is, if you're ready to write this down, 3,300 basically by 4,700. And if that's too big, I'll cut it in half potentially size wise. But that's a very big one because I want to also keep this series nice and high quality, so that one day I could maybe print out every single page and do that instead. So first part starts with El Cooper here. We've got this one here, and we've got this set of annotations. What's up, Julie? How you doing? So yeah, if anybody can do that for us and create a canvas that sort of size, that would be magic, because then I can get an idea what everybody can handle. Also, is this a little bit off to the left? 3,300 Milo. So 3,300 by 4,700. And then I just need to know how many layers you can handle and what iPad you have. I guess that a little better. The whole setup is a bit janky at the minute. Charlie, what are you doing? No, out. Out. Little bugger. Is that only for the older iPads, or do you want new ones? It depends on what, I mean, just let me know what iPad specifically you've got, because it will help me gauge if older iPads can handle that size, but also it will let me know also, even if you've got a new one, what, I don't know what iPad you specifically got, Troy, but it will let me know even still how many layers that could handle. The age doesn't necessarily matter too much. It's more so the layer count. You've got an iPad Pro 2020 and you can have 113. Oh, you've got a weapon of an iPad from what I remember. That's quite a lot of layers still. I think I get something like 49. let's just link that together for a second and reference it. Grab the black here and drag that in. And then we can grab this one here. Move that out of the way. I also want to sort of in the annotations and stuff explain what's going on, you know, like Cooper made his way from such and such to such and such sort of thing. 3,000. Okay, I'll start again. 3,300 by 4,300. So 3,300 by 4,300. Hopefully that works out fine for everybody, and I can just continue with the content as it is. Let's grab Cooper. Oh no. Oh, I've done it. That's the 1 Milo, 128. I'll switch this around. So I that webcam was knackered when it last week. So, and also I've moved my office around quite a bit. So that desk behind me is my work desk and gaming desk and all that sort of jazz. And so this one over here now is a new desk just for job create stuff. So I've got this webcam for this because I wanted to replace that other camera. So it was a bit hit and miss, wasn't it, last time? It was really doing my head in. — 69 layers for 2021 iPad Pro. Yeah, it's a beast. Okay, I might have to downsize the layers, and I might do that now before I actually get started. Because if for you guys to have that many layers on Pro versions and pretty new ones as well, I mean, really, all I need is like 3 layers, but I don't want someone's like iPad to crash or something. So, okay, I'll tell you what then, before we carry on much further, let's create a new canvas. My screen size is, see, look, like A4 there. Oh, no, sorry, A4 is, it's annoying that you can't convert that into like pixels. What's up, Akin? How you doing? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll split it in half. I'll split it in half and we'll go... Actually, what is A4? I'd love to know what the actual dimensions of A4 is. Canvas information, dimensions. Oh, that's actually perfect. Okay, let's just go A4. Because A4 then will be perfect for printing. Right, let's start again. Fine, dude. Good job. Awesome. Awesome. What's up, Jay? How are you doing? Right, let's get this back on track. So, like I said, I'm just going to go backwards for a minute. I've got to go back a few episodes, sort this all out, get it all structured how I want it, and then maybe add some filler content if necessary. And we can then, I'll be in a good position to, you know, start drawing for the new series. Well, not I say new series, the new episodes. So that's the doc background. Let's go back to Cooper page 1 and let's grab just that lot. If we get back a sec, that hasn't removed it. No. Perfect. Akin saying, are you using an iPad M1 11-inch? No, I'm using a 2018 iPad Pro. I think it's an A15, isn't it? I think at that level, or even A14. I don't know. I've had mine for a while now. If anything, it could do with a wee little upgrade maybe soon. A wee little upgrade. Let's move that up a few, unclip it. Perfect. Move that up to the top left. And wonder how we handle this where it's not quite a rectangle. Yeah, do we place this off to the top left and leave it like that? Or do we center it? It'll be a bit bland. It won't be very cartoony if it's got gaps in it. What's up, Kevin? How are you doing? Let's get the content in for a sec and then I can work out the best layout once I've got all of it in. This is a YouTube tutorial, so this is perfect. You guys can do this one, no problem. And if anyone joined a bit later, I'll explain shortly what I'm doing with Cooper in a sec. Just trying to get all the content back in, and we move this around. Thank you, Akin. This is the draw along with me series, so you can draw all of these episodes, well, majority of them, episodes on YouTube, tutorials that you can follow. Got next. What's after the portal? After the portal, it's Cooper getting dragged in, and that's perfect. Okay, so let's grab this, move this into page 1 as well, and yeah, let's just drag that there for a second. So we've got, I'm going to call this drawing 1. Let's rename this, call it drawing 2. And let's rename this too. Oh, by the way, I did speak to Upper about any sort of possibility we have about making it international. It's just not part of the policy that they have, unfortunately. So it will be US only. I'll reply to the comments later. I only recently just got the email. I'm doing very good, Kevin. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? We're seeing a different side of Joel today. Are we? What, this side? Where was the camera before? This side. Oh yeah. Do let me know if this is the fugly side. Akin, Joel, sorry to interrupt. We are watching you, Kat Diaz. Why open live chat? Akin, that's the whole point of this, is to open live chat. This is just a these live streams are casual. These are just casual chat conversations with supporters, followers, subscribers, whatever. Anybody who wants to come into the chat, it don't matter. You're just watching me draw, but I'm interacting with you. It's the whole point of it. So it's all good. Right then. Let's see what we can do here. So this is, oh, that's Cooper I can't stop. So that actually goes with here. There we go. So that could be technically considered page 1. Cheers, Julie. This could technically be considered page 1 on its own. I could do a full page spread with Cooper, relax. of this particular one here, and then you guys could color in Cooper if you wanted to. That would then leave page 1, page 2, page 3, page 3. I think a filler would be a bit nice there. And then page 4, page 5, with filler afterwards. Yeah. Not Akin. My name is Akin. I mean, how that reads is exactly that. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go back a second. Do we squeeze this one in and you color? Do you want to color that in or not? I think a lot of people would want to color that in, right? Okay, so let's do that. Let's make this just page 1 as it is. So this one here needs to be redrawn so it can be colored. And then this one down here is fine as it is. It just needs to be a bit bigger and fill up more of this space towards the bottom here. Like so. That's cool. And then this one at the top is almost fine. Maybe we scale this up a little bit. Don't want to lose that text for a second. I need to move that off on its own. Now let's keep that central. Quite like that there. Yep, and let's move the dialogue up so it sits on top. That's pretty cool, right? That's a pretty cool first page. We can go with that. So now this one needs to be redrawn. So what I'm getting at now is we'll go back into that actual design, wherever it is, here. And I'm just going to cartoon and sketch it out. So I need to copy all. And let's paste. And let's turn off everything else. This tutorial was enormous. Look how many layers there are in here. That was my first Patreon tutorial. Shout out to you if you've done it. And let's change the background. We'll change it to white. And let's start sketching. So now you're going to see me sketch on top of everything I've already done. And it'll kind of give you more of a sort of idea as to what I'm thinking for the entire design. Let's probably make this a drawing assisted layer, so let's make it symmetrical, save me some time. Make sure it's working. It is wonderful. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get this on the road. So let's just drag this around here. Cool. So what's new, everybody? What is new? What's going on? Milo, you did that tutorial on Patreon? I feel like that was such a long time ago now. So this is exactly that kind of very sort of loose, cartoony, sketchy look that I want to draw, so that if people want to, they can colour it in. But otherwise it's just there. Hopefully that's actually bold enough that we can use that potentially. Might have to consider whether or not those lines are chunky enough. Let's just do another drawing assisted layer quickly for this back area here. Okay, cool. Move that underneath and erase. So like I said, I'm going to get a lot of the work done, ready for the whole series to start again. I thought Jessie might be in here today. Should follow her over on Patreon. I thought she'd be in if you saw the Cooper. She typically comments on things afterwards, so I'm expecting a comment later on. She's a big fan of the Cooper series. I am as well. It's just annoying that it got to that stage where I was really sort of stuck with it. So for a minute, just getting all the outline work done. The helmet's going to be really fun to do. I say that with a raised eyebrow. It's going to be interesting to try and get that curvature all right. Trying to think of the best way to tackle that actually. Let's see what we can do. Let's maybe create a new layer. Oh, it's not drawing assisted. Oh damn, that curve right at the end. I just went a little bit too close. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Let's then see if we can get that curvature a little bit closer. That one's not very good. Beautiful. Okay, that's good. That's good. Is everybody still there? Or are we all concentrating? Still. Troy, was it you? I'm trying to think who posted their version of Flow's tutorial on Discord. It was you, Troy, wasn't it? From memory? I think it was. Pretty sure it was. I'm sure you'll let me know in a second. Oh, damn. Oh, that doesn't quite work out here. It was. Dude, that tutorial is really cool. Flow done real good with that one. Cool. And then let's go round the very top. That's not quite right. Let's do that again. Hey! Stop it. What are you doing? Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. Okay, cool. That top area is fine. So I'm kind of umming and ahhing about what to do regarding detail. Do I leave it? Well, obviously I've got to do the center point regarding the actual the portal and color, like do that. But do we reckon that I add in the detail? So do I, you know, for example over here, let's create a new layer. Just do all the detail on a new layer. Make sure it's drawing assisted, which it is. Like, do I do, say, the sort of, you know, very loosely here right now, you know, the sort of shading on top of there, you know, do I do the shading that's going to go sort of here, or do I leave the user to fill that in, or do I do a little bit of it? Do I do, for example, like here, little sort of bit there? What do we reckon? Do we let the user do it? It's going to be very simple otherwise. Sort of very simple outlines. Let the user do that. So the only thing then we really need to do is do the portal in the center, right? Is just outline the portal. And then the user would get exactly this to color in. So like here, agree with Marie. I agree. Okay, cool. That's fine. Okay, so this one here then is just the only thing that's going to need debating is, first of all, how should I do this? Do I do the outline of it, you know, sort of very loosely zigzag all the way around? You know, I'm not even really following it too much. I'm just sort of following the edge and then go around that again. You know, something like that, and then turn off the background. That's what you'd get though. That's what we've got to bear in mind, is it's going to be very simple, very simple. What do we think? Because I also, if people don't want to color it in or do it at all, the story's still got to show somehow in the line work. So let's say this was page 1 and we just turn that off, copy all of this. 3 fingers, Joel, not 4. If we copy all of that and then go back to the comic that we were doing, let's go back to this bit here. Let's turn off that, and then we can paste this in, and the user would be able to do, just needs to go edge to edge like that. So this one, so this is what you'd get per page. It's a really good example of what I'm trying to achieve. Is, oh, hang on, clipping mask. You'd get a Procreate file. It would have some layers in it, like the annotations. So you could turn off the annotations like right at the top, and then, like, you know, color that in yourself. So what it would be is, this is a great example. You'd get your next page in the comic, and it would be something like this. So keep Cooper looking at the portal, and then you can color that in if you want to, and then otherwise you then get this as a YouTube tutorial, exactly how it is here. So pretty much, I think the cool part is to then, I guess, from a user point of view, is, well, I've learned how to draw this here. I can go back in and maybe do it there as well. So like, you get a coloring side of things, and you get a full YouTube tutorial. So you kind of getting a 2-for-1 every time there's a new Cooper episode. I'm happy to hear your thoughts on everything. I think as part of the intro to the episode, every time I'll go, you know, welcome to the episode of Cooper. This is today's page for the comic so far. you can go ahead and download all the other ones. In each, and as always in each comic, you will have filler content that you can colour in and fill in. But today we're going to be filling in this one here. So, you know, kind of thing. Explain what it is per page every time. Yeah, so let's get started, sort of thing. What do we think? What do we think? I reckon people are getting distracted by work. Oh, also, if you haven't already, please go and subscribe to Joel Create Shorts. So just type in Joel Create Shorts, you'll see a few of them on there. Troy likes it. That's perfect. I'm half tempted to do a little bit of detail, but I don't know. You've got to keep it very skinny, Anna. Very slim. Let them do the work for it. I have to say that I like the idea. Awesome, awesome. I think there's a couple of responses. I'll wait to see if anybody else does. No. Michael likes it too. Awesome. Okay, let's do something like this then. I just want to redo that portal in the center, but that's the concept. So let's go back. Just tidy up some line work here and there where necessary. I think this is good. I think this is good for the series. It will really help me. It will really help me sort of come up with ideas and get, like I said, get you as the audience from point to point without having to do really boring stuff. You know, this will be a prime example. I wanted to add in a little bit more of a spike to that one. Okay, that's cool. Let's just get in here, tidy up some line work, and then we'll get this one done. We'll crack on with the rest of them. So like here, for example, this one could just be, this one here, as it just runs down, could be a little bit thicker. I think I can get away with sort of very sort of blockiness on edges. So like here where it's the real side of the helmet, I think I can get away with maybe blocking that out just a little bit more. So let's just straight line this first. Because like that could look pretty good. No, actually no, because then if they want to shade it in, they can shade it in. If I put a big block there, it's not going to be very useful for them. That's nicer. So if you haven't already seen, I started a how-to series. So if there's anything you can think of, nice and small ideally, like quicker and easier the better. For a helpful video for newcomers potentially, or even if you are an experienced Procreate user, you may learn something new. But the series is doing really well actually. The tracing one I thought would do okay, and it has started to get a few views, which is good. It's not too bad, a couple of hundred. But for a non sort of tutorial, in a sense, it's pretty good. That's better. This line here. Nicer, that's nicer. This one line is... I think I have to put all my suggestions on Patreon. I think I have put all my suggestions on Patreon already, or someone else already said it. Fair dues, fair dues. I appreciate your response in that little thread. Let's just get in here and tidy up that tiny little couple of pixels here. I just wanted to go astray. Okay, I think that's good. Let's copy all, because I think they're on separate layers. I can leave that and come back to it should I ever need to. And we have page 1 here. So let's zoom out. I mean, I could do them as individual, literal full pages, but I don't think, for some of the stuff I've got in mind, I don't think that'd be very good. There we go. And let's clip that to that one. And I think, so this is like what I want to use as the template going forward. So let's delete that for a second. Let's rename this one. Annotations. Let's call this drawing 1, drawing 2. You've not missed anything, Kat? You're all good. You're all good. We're just still making our way through. Oh, okay, yeah, let's move that up to there. Pinch those two together. Oh, damn it. Rename. Annotations. That's going to say that. And this is just background. And what we also want is, so everybody's going to be able to download this. So drawing drawing 1 even. Everybody will get this Procreate file, and then in there you can turn the annotations off. You can change the, you can color it in. You can drop your own image in, and I think in here, as Troy mentioned, it would be really good to sort of let people know, you know, color me in. So I think if we do like something really cool, kind of close to this in a sense with the colors. So maybe we just go to black to, oh no, let's just pick red actually. And let's go to monoline. I think if we put like a little annotation here on the left to like say, like a little box. Actually, let's actually use the box. Freehand rectangle color fill. And then just a little something like that. Grab the cursor and then just distort that slightly so it's a bit more animated. Something like that. Duplicate it. Alpha lock this one. Make it a little bit bigger. And then on top, we'll alpha lock this, change this to, should we change this to white maybe? I don't want it to get lost, so maybe we keep it as red and say, you know, keep it as red and say, add text, color. You're gonna have to deal with the correct spelling, okay? I'm not having any of this American nonsense of it spelled without a U. You know, come for me in the comments, I don't care. But we're going to use the correct spelling. And what was the font that I used before? I think it was Bangers. It was. colour. There you go, so something like that. So it says colour me. I think that's good. You act like you... You removed all the unnecessary letters to save on printing costs. I find that quite interesting. Well, it's not, it's interestingly boring, but you know what I mean. What's up, Vlad? How you doing? No, it's not. No, it's not, Troy. It's the wrong way. That is hilarious, of course. You originally had words that ended with 4 E's. Yeah, well. Yeah, it was to save the ink on print. So they just randomly decided to cut a bunch of letters out and spell them wrong. Right. I think actually, let's pinch that to that and call that colour me. Do you think that that needs an arrow or like an arrow pointing there, or is that good? What's up, Sarah? How you doing? You think that's good? So just leave it as that, and I'll be explaining it in. I'm really pleased with where this is going already, especially with like the little colour me on the side. It already gives me the vibe that I wanted of you're going to get a new page and you're going to get kind of 2 things to do in one. I think that'd be really cool for people. What is the point in the word Q? Yeah, that's true. Why does it repeat? I don't know why the UE repeats every time. I appreciate that, Troy. I really do. That helps. That makes me feel good that we're on the right step. So you would get this. You would see colour me, which you could delete. You can see the annotations. We can see drawing 1, and it says clip to me. And we can see drawing 2, so you can clip to me. Let's probably move these around so people don't get confused. What we'll do? Yeah, let's move that under there. Drawing 1 is the top one, which is clipped, and you've got drawing 2, which you can clip the YouTube video too. So I think, there we go. I already left the text there. Perfect. Complete the tutorial for page 2. So you would download this page, and it would look exactly like this. You have exactly this, and you can clip your version to it, and it looks far more complete as a comic. Yeah, where we're going with it. Am I the only one can't pinch 2 layers together? You struggle with that, Murray? That's actually quite interesting because I do that all the time. I don't want to 2 layers is annoying. They're very close together, aren't they? You can, it's probably a little tip for you if you don't already know. If I wanted to merge colour me down, just tap on it and it's right at the bottom here, merge down, and that will merge that to the one underneath it. So it's kind of like pinching 2 layers together. You're welcome. Oh well, I'll shut up then. Okay, cool. That's good. That's looking good. Let's duplicate that. Let's actually rename that. Let's call this page 1. Front cover, page 1. Perfect. Duplicate this. Whoa. So let's get into page 2. What were we meant to put on page 2? Page 2 is this one here, so it's the front cover. I think this one would be really good for people to want to do as a full sort of page spread. So let's grab this layer and move this up into page 2 and remove all this other stuff for a minute. Color me can stay, annotations can stay. This all has to go. Rename. Let's call this drawing 3, maybe. Let's go back. Okay, well, first thing I should probably do is actually the design. So it's this one here. Cat, that badge is sick. The only person that's ahead of you is Mark, and he's the first person with the silver badge. And I spotted it the other day in a comment, and I was like, "Well, that looks sick." And then there's the gold one after that, and I've just found out that you can do even further into the future. So I could just leave it at gold, but we could do like something like even more after gold, something nuts. So. But also, I really appreciate you just constantly supporting the channel as a member. Your loyalty badge to be that far. I don't even know how far it is now. What is it, 11 months maybe? 11 I think it is, something like that. Before I start tinkering with this, I want to adjust it, make it a little bit bigger. What's this then? Oh, that's the glowing behind. Let's uniform Cooper up a lot more. I want to make this a nice big piece so that it can be coloured in for the tutorial, well, for the design, the page. That's cool. This one's one of my favourite ones I did. It took ages to do because of his like body proportions and stuff, and I never made it into a tutorial because it was one that spent too much time on it. Would never have been a good tutorial. Also, again, this one, it's now going to be good because it'll be filler content. Also, actually, did I? Let's turn all these layers off and possibly invert that so I can see all the line work. Perfect. Let's turn off the portal. Let's maybe lower that layer down. 1 default. Let's change the background to white. Invert that. And I can get my line work done on the top. September 16th. That's not far away at all. I was trying to merge 2 mask layers in your tutorial and it was the worst. Oh, you have to apply the mask first and then merge the actual layer left over. Okay, where do we start? What have we got? Also, how am I going to draw this in a different way that's going to work? I kind of need to outline everything first and then draw in these extra lines here. Anything I don't like is the brush, and I want to find that other one that I found before. Is it this one? Oh, that doesn't look very good. Why does that? Oh, that looks bad. That looks awful. Is it this one? That's better. It's got less of a point on the end. Believe it or not, out of the two of those. Cool. What's up, Russell? How are you doing? Where can I get the Cooper stamp from? This one in particular is not a stamp. This was a filler content. This is the front cover of the series. But all the stamps for Cooper are per episode in the description of each individual video. Hopefully that answers your question. Can you guys hear the music okay as well? You don't like that brush either. It has got a really sort of peculiar end to it. It is, I don't know, I like it. It's but it's definitely one that can be very hit or miss depending on what it is you're doing. You're welcome, Russell, you're welcome. How many of you, so this is a good question actually, how many of you have adjusted your pressure curve from the default? Also, what the heck? So if your pressure curve is different from the default, just let me know in the chat. So mine, you can tell by going up to your actions, where is it, preferences, pressure and smoothing, and that's the default, it's just a straight line. And let me know why you changed it. Is that a quick how-to video? Can somebody do me a favor and just, if you've got us on Discord, can you just message me exactly that, how to change pressure curve, so that I can remember, because I would put it in, but my phone is there and it's not going to go into my notes. Can somebody just message me that? How to change your pressure sensitivity. Oh, look at us, eh? We're like a factory of ideas. That doesn't quite follow the original line. Awesome. Troy did, and Kat says, I would have, oh, Kat, I have a hard time with it, oh, because of the pressure. I would have to look when I get home. I think I mess with it for a tutorial, but not 100%. Troy says, I was doing it for a lot of shading in charcoal and the pencil and needed to smooth the curve. Fair enough. So that'd be interesting. Is that something I need to start exploring potentially per tutorial, of like saying, you know, this is the best way to do this tutorial by changing your pressure to this sort of thing. Not sure about that line. What's everybody doing at the minute tutorial wise? That's always a good question. I love seeing what people are up to. What are people doing? Is there any tutorials that have tickled everybody's fancy? Obviously, like I said earlier, Flo's put out a pretty sweet one with that neon sort of animal design. What's up, Jesse? I knew you'd be in here. That title is literally just been put there on purpose, just waiting for you. I was talking about you earlier, in a good way, nothing bad at all. I said, because I'm rebooting the Cooper series, there's one person that I know will be particularly happy with that. But But yeah, we'll be getting more Cooper. I'll explain actually while there's probably a few more of you here in a second. Let me just try and continue with getting this area finished first. There's loads of lines that some of them just, I'm trying to refine them. Some of them don't particularly make too much sense anymore. Well, that is a long line. Let's do that under here. Kevin says, I adjusted mine a long time ago watching a James Julie vid. Julie says, I haven't actually done any for ages now. What is that, tutorials? And Jay says, I had to step away for a bit, but I'm back. Is that in terms of the stream, or is that for doing tutorials? Let's bring this line round here. So basically, I need to get all of this work done for us to be able to bring Cooper back. So unfortunately, if you're not enjoying the stream for me drawing this today, I apologise, but this is all for the greater good. Okay, so let's just explain quickly what it is I'm trying to do, and while Jesse's here as well. So far, we have had the front cover for the Cooper series. This one was a sort of very bastardized version of the Patreon tutorial where I've just put that in the center, but it was never actually a tutorial to do it with the blue and the portal. So we had that, and before you would download each image here and then drop yours in. So this is a YouTube tutorial, this is not, this is. But the reason I stopped doing the Cooper series is I wanted to get you to the next point in the story, but it needs to be a cool point in the story for us to actually bother doing a tutorial about it. So for example, Cooper is now up here. I don't want to have to get you to get Cooper down off this cliff now and walk through that desert. That is boring. That is not something you want as a tutorial. It's just filler content. So rather than do that, is I'm now going to give you a page per tutorial, and in the page is going to be filler content. So let's show you an example, because I've just finished page 1. It's going to be filler content, which is just line work. Feel free to color in, you know, if you leave it blank, you leave it blank, but you can color that in. And then each page will consist of filler content to get you to the main image of the page. And the main image of the page is going to be a YouTube tutorial. So you'll have maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 filler content images within a page. And then you'll have your main YouTube tutorial image. So for example, and I'm just going to give you an insight as to where I'm thinking I'm taking Cooper. Cooper needs to get down off this cliff, because there's a cliff ledge just here, and these columns are actually meant to be enormous. I want to send Cooper down into that desert scene. Imagine him knackered, just leaning up against, exhausted, leaning up against one of the columns. And as he looks down onto the ground, there is potentially a claw or a paw or some sort of foot of a monster. And then that foot of the monster, he then will maybe then look at the column, and there's claw marks on the column. And then I want to get you to a cool tutorial where we've got Cooper and a monster. Do you know what I mean? The claw marks on the column, just him walking down towards that point, the paw in the ground. It's all filler content to get you to what will be the tutorial. So it's going to be so much better for me. It's going to be better for you because we can continue to push the story along. We can continue to keep getting him to the next point, and it's going to be cooler content to do per episode. So this one here, for example, this is filler content right here. So you will be able to color this in if you wish, or you can leave it blank on the page. It's totally your call. But the Cooper series is going to be back soon. Once I've done all of this work, I know what it is I want to try and achieve with the rest of it. So once I've done that, we can crack on and give Cooper a new episode. Because I still find value in the Cooper series. You know, I think it's a cool idea to be able to follow along with a Procreate series of tutorials. Every tutorial you do online, or I do, everybody does, online is a singular tutorial, and that's it. There's the odd ones that are two-parters, but there's never anything more to it. And I think if people stumble across the channel in, say, a year's time, and Cooper's a good, 30, 40 episodes in potentially, I think it's particularly cool for those new faces. It's a Christmas miracle in August. But yes, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be a lot more fun, because it's going to be really interesting for me to get him from A to B. How can I create some cool content to get you to the next tutorial? And I'm going to, once the first episode goes back out, knackered is tired in real English. Exactly, knackered, just completely exhausted. Once the series is back up and running, I will probably commit to a monthly release of a new episode. I don't want to do it every 2 weeks or anything like that. That would be too much. But I will commit to a consistent time frame with it as soon as it's ready. And also, I do have some plans potentially like long term into the future. We need to get Cooper. He's got to have a shower at some point. Not that we need to draw a shower scene, but let's get him out of his costume. Let's draw some faces. I'll sort of end that there for a second, because that may give away too much about the story long term. But let's do other stuff. We can literally turn this into a proper character, and take it in a different direction. That's the cool thing that I want to do, is I don't want each episode of the Cooper series to be the same style every time. We may do ones that, we may, for example, do an odd watercolor style. We still want to do art and draw different styles like that, but with the Cooper storyline attached to it. So I think that's very much my thoughts. I can live with a guarantee of Cooper once a month. It's I'm not doing any of that voiceover stuff again. It takes far too long. Like, I want to just get the design done, get the tutorial shot, get it edited, and now I'll be able to just simply create the page. No more voice acting, I'm afraid. So those episodes are historic artifacts now. Damn it. A lot of very tiny line work here. Don't know. Oh, I've gone too far there. So if you haven't already done this series, oh damn it, I'm not even concentrating now. If you haven't already done it, it might be the best time to do so that you're ready for the new stuff. Around the world and out of his costume, exactly. Let's see where we can take him. Obviously, he's on a different planet at the minute. He's not on an Earth. Let's put it that way. And that's always what I wanted to do with him. I wanted to take it to another planet so that it can be, I can draw anything. Anything goes, because there's no, it's not got to relate to Earth in any way. Damn it, man. Concentrate. But definitely the different styles. I definitely want to try doing different styles, for the Cooper series. At the minute, it's very stamp based, and it always probably will be somewhat, because I don't want you to have to draw Cooper every time. And if certain people complain about stamps, then I don't particularly give a... It is what it is. Put way too much detail into here. Thanks, Jay. I need to start drawing him, darn it. This will be the perfect time. Okay, I might come back to that, but for the minute... Oh, hang on, we need to... So that's the line work done. For him, I need to do the portal as well. Little something like this. Might have to tidy that up on both sides actually. But yeah, we're getting there. We will get there. If I can get all this work done today, that'll be perfect. And I can get cracking on the rest of the ideas, get the next page done. And we can go from there and actually give him a reboot. And I don't know, I think maybe I could leave the old episodes up there, but then I want people from the start to know, what to do, per page, because I'm redoing the old pages, obviously. So I think it's worth maybe deleting them and maybe deleting them and re-uploading them. So it'll also help people sort of from the start, like be able to go through it. I could release them on a Tuesday, so it doesn't affect the week's tutorial, and go again. And then the very first one, literally explain that this is the reboot. If you've already done it, don't worry about it. I'm just going to add in a couple of lines. Why did that not work? And if any of you didn't already know and you haven't seen Patreon today, we got a giveaway on the channel starting tomorrow. The wonderful folks over at Upper have given us a big old giveaway, and it's not just one winner, it's multiple winners, so it's definitely worth entering. Obviously, I've already mentioned, and as they already have in the terms, it is for US residents only. I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid. But if you are, or you could get one of our American friends to, you could enter and get one of our American friends if they win, and get them to enter on your behalf and ship it out to you. Obviously, Julie, you could get Marie to do it. You've already got each other's addresses. From your little snack, your snack haul. Like that. How many episodes are we in on Cooper? Is it like 5? The tutorials would be exactly the same. I'd literally just chop the intro off and re-upload them. I sent you a video I used to set the pressure sensitivity on Patreon. Perfect. Cheers, Troy. Appreciate it. Julie says not for the price that postage is again. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Let's turn off the background. See, look how cool that looks. I'm really pleased with that. Like, I think the action lines in there look pretty cool. So let's go back out. Let's go back to page 2. Now this one, I'm going to paste the whole image in. What's all that white stuff around the outside? No. What did I just do there then? Something's gone wrong around the outside. Cat, you're bad with Patreon. What are you doing? You're a superstar supporter. Page 2 is done. This is a colour one, and I think there was annotations, was there not, for this one? Yes, there is. Grab these. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I really am. It's quite reassuring that it is the right direction to go. And like I said, I really think it's got some legs. Like you don't see it anywhere else. It's not on YouTube in any other sense. It's just something cool, something different. There we go. Page 2 done. Someone can colour that in if they wish. So we go from that to that, and then we get into YouTube tutorial. So this page is going to be pretty boring because although we could do a hand reaching out of the water potentially. You know, like he's fallen into the water there, like kind of like trying to scramble to get above the water maybe, or we just make page 3 2 tutorials just to catch up and move the story on, because then I can use these two on the same page as well, meaning that we're right where we should be. God, I've been doing this for an hour and a half. I've not even done anything. Jesus Christ. Right, let's duplicate this. Let's grab page 3. How have I been doing this for an hour and a half? God, you guys should be cracking the whip a little bit more. This is not quick enough. There's not going to be any color mise on here. There's not going to be any of this. Drawing 1 at the top, duplicate that. Well, yeah, I'm the only one that does Cooper, but I mean as in a continuous series, and the extra effort involved to obviously do all of this stuff. I'm excited you're doing Cooper again. I don't want to spook you or get banned again. Okay, so that's that one. Let's grab this one. Yeah. This is the one we want. Page 3. This one's going to be a relatively easy one to do because this one's just a matter of placing the image down. Oh no, we don't want to clip it. We do want to clip this though for a second. And annotations can go right at the top. Oh, why did I put the background on the image? Did I do that, did I? Oh, Joel, why did you do that? What's up, Alturas? How are you doing? How's things? What's good? Right, maybe we instead delete that, duplicate that one, alpha lock it, fill it, invert it. Oh. Invert it, and we just make it a little bit bigger. There we go. Can move this up to the top. So for a minute they're going to be kind of like 2 pages, but sometimes there may be like a small image on the right, small image down on the right. Sorry, small image, like smaller images around the sides is what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to do this one in kind of a diagonal fashion. So that's a YouTube tutorial, and just like before, you'll download the page and it'll say complete the tutorial for page 4 on YouTube. There we go. And then we need to get page 5 in, which was originally this one. Want to add some other sort of annotations that are not so much, you know, kind of like not speech related. Things that are like there's as Cooper makes his way towards, you know, like kind of like narrating it in a sense. Arturus has been terribly busy lately. We've not had too much time to be drawing. It's unfortunately something all the time that we always have to make sure we've got time for, isn't it? It's very time consuming. I always say this, I say it all the time, that the amount of obviously content that there is, you know, published every week from so many creators now, it can be very hard to stay up to date with just a few creators. The splash one. What's up, Lawrence or John? Whichever one it is. It's a new room setup, yeah. This camera's temporary for a minute. Cat, no listening to the stream. None of this red lights nonsense. Also, for clarity, that is just apple juice. I'm not drinking and drawing. You should never drink and draw, kids. Let's go back and get the annotations. Oh, it's there. And again, if we turn that off, complete tutorial for page 5 on YouTube. No Red Bull. I tell you what, I've just had to stop caffeine after like 2:30 and not specifically 2:30, but roughly around about sort of 2 or 3 o'clock. That's my window out, and I won't have any caffeine afterwards. My sleep is so bad. If I have a Red Bull, I don't get to sleep till like 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys see me and I'm like, oh yeah, guys, you know, I'm really tired now. I'm gonna go to bed. And you know, when I used to stream and have a Red Bull, I'll be lying in bed for about another 5.5 hours, just sat there like, oh, maybe I could draw this, and maybe I'm like completely wired, and there's like, even if I did fall asleep, it was the most shallow sleep possible. Bloody horrible. These are the best sweets you can get. They're kind of like wine gums, but a little bit harder. They're unbelievable. Oh, ouch. That hurt. Hey, out. The cable's there. Out. Right, so that's actually page 3 done. What's that then? 4 and 5. We've got 6 and 7 to go. So we've sort of really narrowed it down into 4 pages. But from this point onwards, with the next episode, each page won't have multiple tutorials in it. I'm just trying to get us back to where we need to be. So they will have 1 tutorial image on it and the rest will be filler content. He's fine, he just keeps walking in. Truth be told, he's not doing anything wrong. He's just walking in. And but there's a cable running across from left to right for a little light that's just over here on the side. If he knocks it over, I don't want it to smash on him. Okay, so we did 4 and 5, we're up to 6. Let's copy all of these. Ready? So originally this camera that I'm using now as a webcam, because it was a backup for a second while the other one was being temperamental, I was going to use this as like a camera, and kind of like up there I was going to mount it to the wall and the ceiling and use it as like a room cam so you could see everything. So if Charlie and Daisy came in, I could switch the camera around and like you'll be able to see them in full, kind of thing, which is kind of cool. But now it's actually having to be used because well, you need to see me, I guess. Well, I mean, you don't need to. We can do this without. It'd be weird now if I came onto stream and you guys were like, where's the camera? I'll go back in time a little bit. I wish that kind of stuff would do that to me. I can drink anything before bed and still sleep. I used to be exactly the same, but I don't know why. It now just affects me so much. I've got decaf coffee now. Right, let's get the final one, which I think is, yeah. That's good. Zoom out the canvas, we'll put this one here. And I may add some more sort of annotations in here, and I may revisit a few pages potentially. I think you wouldn't like it, yeah, you're absolutely right. It'd just be weird, wouldn't it? I also, actually, that's probably a good thing I haven't really spoken about yet, is I was sent some wonderful products from the folks over at 12 South. The video's not anywhere, well, it's not live yet. Probably won't be till maybe early next week. But we've got some really cool alternatives to the Sketchboard Pro, a more compact version if that's something you're after. So that's definitely a video worth keeping an eye out for, where I just want to show you some alternatives that you could use for a much more comfortable drawing experience. So that's definitely something that's come out. I really want to get into the more product side of things, and you know, do my best to show you everything that is out there that's in this space. And there we go. So that is this one here. If we turn this off, tutorial, complete the tutorial for page 7. What happened there? Why did it go to 7? Oh, is that just the wrong text on here? Climbing up the cliff. We went up the cliff and we went to the top. So it's just got the wrong text on there. Okay. Okay. Let's add text. Let's lower this opacity down to get this nice and small. Just clip it to it. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's rasterize the layer first. Lower the opacity. Cool. Okay, so there we go. We've got the pages done. You can kind of get an idea where we're going with it. Oh, this one here is actually the wrong way around, isn't it? That shouldn't be white lines. That should be inverted. And that should also be inverted. And there you go, you can color that page in. Cool. So the cover will remain the cover. That's fine. Not going to make any adjustments to that. But when we go back, we've then got tutorial for number 2. We've then got a color me page for page 3. We then have just tutorial pages at this point because everything pretty much is fine as it goes. And then we get into what will probably be the next page. So if we duplicate this, I don't know whether to make the images external and then drag them in. Also, sorry, I've just abandoned you for a second. I don't do caffeine anymore. I used to get to shake. Now I'm cool. I remember you saying that, Milo. I remember you saying that you sort of detoxed from it. Jay, I haven't done caffeine in 5 years. Occasionally I'll have a cola, but that's it. And Marie says, why do I not have an icon now next to my name? Are you on the right account? Don't you have 2 accounts? You've got a personal and your actual YouTube channel. Or were you gifted one for a month and then it's gone now? Troy did actually, if Troy's still here, did actually do 10 gifted memberships, but I think because the stream didn't have the capacity at the time, I don't think that they were given out. So for a second, Daisy, you can't come in. You gotta lie down, sweetie. You gotta lie down. You gotta lie down there. Lie down. Lie down. Good girl. Yeah, Troy, I think you'll be refunded for them. It happened to me before. What, today, Julie? Marie, maybe it stopped, or you were gifted one for a month, or I don't know, but it remembers your past. If it's not been renewed, it should catch back up. Oh right, sorry, I switched this round because I actually did do another Cooper episode somewhere. I just want to find where I did that. Maybe I'll put it in the stack, maybe? I'll call it the stack, because it's just got absolutely everything in it. Concepts, things that I've messed around with that never went anywhere. Oh, by the way, that creative block video did better than I thought it would. I was said about this last week on the stream. I was a bit sort of apprehensive about what it was going to do, if it was going to do very well at all. And yeah, it didn't do too bad. I mean, it didn't set the world ablaze, but it definitely did better than I thought it was going to be. This was what I just very quickly, this is what I was looking for. This is what I was initially planning on being the next episode for Cooper. For the there we go. Troy gifted 10 more memberships. Let's see if these get distributed, Troy. But Troy, I appreciate you again supporting the stream, and anybody in here who's gifted a membership, please be sure to thank Troy. They'll be randomly gifted out, so hopefully you will get one. Let's see if it actually wants to work this time, shall we, Troy? But yeah, this was the I think the iPad's going into night mode. There we go. So he was making his way through the columns. I think the columns, truth be told, could be bigger. I mean, they could be much bigger. No, not that. That's better. And even this one here. You know, stretch those out a little bit, make them a bit taller, if not even bigger than that. But so this one, I might have shown it on the stream. I was messing around with the concept that like there was sandy winds pushing through, so that's what I was trying to give the impression of. But truth be told, he's not leaning anywhere near over enough to sort of look as if he's sort of battling through the wind. So that's something to be adjusted. That's initially where I was going with it for this. I'm actually going to grab this layer. Let's go switch this around a sec. I covered that up there, panicking. I thought it was one that you posted online but didn't do a tutorial for, bracket the one that you were looking for. That was the one I was looking for. Oh, there we go. Wendy was gifted a membership by Troy. There you go. Let's go back to Cooper. Okay, cool. So we're actually back to where we should be now. So one's gone out, Troy. And the other one hasn't. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually. Sorry. I keep bouncing you backwards and forwards between the stream and me. Let me just find that again. Let's just duplicate it and grab it. We go back into Cooper DLC. Move this down here. Move that up to there. There we go. So let's maybe mess around with this one a little bit. Let's see if there's any sort of very, very basic changes we could make in terms of sort of. I don't want to warp him in terms of his actual figure. I want to warp him in terms of, you know, leaning forward sort of thing, kind of like, you know, that. But I'm just trying to see if I can sort of get away with it by just warping it rather than having to redraw. That definitely gives the impression that that is actually the case. He's a bit of a chunky boy though, so we need to make sure he's a bit bigger as well. Didn't get charged for the first one, so no, I don't know why. Fair enough. I think because eventually they just end up refunding it. I don't want you to get charged anyway for something that never actually happened. Let's just flatten his head down a little bit. Make sure it's a little bit rounder. Much better. Move it just to the left. And this is just filler anyway. This is going to be a filler episode. So right at the top here, I don't know whether we make him bigger or we leave it as he is. He's going to be a bit small if it's just a filler. So maybe I just need to scale him right up. Zoom out of here a second. So we're just trying to make some quick adjustments because this one's already done. And again, it is a filler episode, so, or a filler image. So something maybe like that is good. Are you including that first Cooper in this? The one where he no. That was just drawing an astronaut, truth be told. Somebody did ask me about that recently, actually. Can't remember who it was, but that was always just a drawing. I mean, we kind of gave that sort of drawing a name by giving it a Cooper, but it was never part of the series or the concept of Cooper fully. It was just a drawing of mine. Somebody went back recently and was looking at all my old Patreon stuff and was like, you know, asking for tutorials on things. But I do remember like there was a phase where I was just drawing for me. I wasn't drawing that everything was a tutorial. Now I won't draw anything unless it's an actual tutorial because people want it, and rightly so. But yeah, there was a whole time of just like giving you sneak peeks of upcoming designs, but they were just things that I've been drawing. Kind of pointless for you, really. And now you get to milk me like a cow all month for designs. Joke. It might have been named Cooper, but it was never part of the series. the story starts with the helmet and looking at the portal. The portal is the start of the story. Sleepless nights, just making sure these wonderful patrons are all taken care of. It's like having over 200 kids, I tell you, at times. Jesus. G Create, great name, love that. Was gifted a membership by Troy at random, of course. Congratulations, you have a nice little badge beside your name now that will show for the entire month, so be sure to comment on videos because you will see your badge and other people will also see your badge in the comments of videos as well as in the streams as well. You have your little loyalty badge like everybody else does, the majority of people in the chat, other than Marie. She obviously doesn't want to do it anymore. Listen, that's fine, it's cool, don't worry about it, we're cool, we're Gucci. I just thought we were friends. Oh my God. Oh, there it is. Did you have to redo it? I think the loyalty badges are one of the coolest things you can get on out of the YouTube memberships. I mean, there's obviously other benefits should the creator give them, but I think as a sort of, it's quite a simple one, but it's quite cool. Get a sort of flex in the chat. Oh, it was a mess. Oh, cool. Well, if you didn't have to redo it, result. See, this detail could be a bit too small, which is what I'm concerned about for, because it's only going to occupy a small area of the page. Damn it. Okay, cool. So that's that. Nearly done with this one. Troy says, I forget that I am Troy on here, Gandalf on Discord. You got all the names. You don't help me in the slightest because I've got to try and remember everybody, and then you've got 3 different usernames. Did you guys see that I actually bothered to decide to put my my face on the thumbnail for this video? Trying to, well, I'll be transparent with you. I'm trying to try and be, you know, a bit more, I guess, how can I explain it? For brands wise, try to be more of a brand myself, a brand and a personality of myself. So just trying to, you may see my face appear a couple times in thumbnails. There may even be a couple that are like really thumbnaily, like you know, like when people are like, oh, or like, you know, like give you like reactions on the thumbnail, like, oh my god, you'll never guess what this, you know, this sort of rubbish. I'm never, I promise you, I'm never gonna be on a starting a YouTube video with like the maddest energy you've ever seen in your life. Like, I'm not gonna be like, what is up YouTube? None of that. None of that. We're not doing any of that. I guess a bit clickbaity, yeah. I mean, the game's the game, as I often hear. The game's the game. Unfortunately, sometimes that's the way you gotta play it. It's not you at all. Well, the energy thing. I just don't roll like that. I can't be asked to be that type of person. I'd rather be a bit more, well, just me. I don't understand how people do it. I don't understand how people just continue to do that type of energy all the time. How can you keep that up? Surely that just drives you nuts. That must aid a lot of creators to what's it called? Like creative burnout kind of thing. It must. Because every video you've got to be at 150% energy. Yeah, no. So really, kind of, let's just give you an idea as to what I'm thinking. So that was, you know, that I'm not finished with that image, but we'll get in here. We'll create a new rectangle, color fill. This one would be quite a small one, really. It would be kind of like I'm imagining this grid kind of split into 3. So we would have maybe the main YouTube tutorial here, kind of thing. Make that a little bit bigger. Let's duplicate this, make this a bit smaller. And I'm thinking for this particular page, as I mentioned, kind of like the paw or the something on the floor kind of idea. And then let's maybe grab the main image here. Something maybe a little bit grid-wise like this. And then this one here is a color me. So paste this in. Again, I mentioned it's going to be pretty small, so you know, let's just see kind of how that goes as a concept. And then over here you would have, say, some sort of paw. So, well, so I'm imagining some sort of like paw on the ground kind of shape with big sort of kind of thing like this. I want it to be very maybe quite big and aggressive, kind of like the dirt kind of shaded in on one side, a little bit on this side too, you know, to give that 3D effect into the ground. Again, very quick. And then here, I'm imagining Cooper and him like here. And then in the background, or him maybe fit. I need to sort of give the impression that he's kind of looking away. And then here in the background, you know, some sort of like monster here. So like shoulder, and then like let's just have the arms out there. Nah, that's too big. Need to go smaller than that. Or even like, not even maybe something that's a bit like real. Maybe it could literally just be like a huge just monster of some sort. So something, say, something in the back with sort of massive arm or tentacle arms or something crazy. But the main thing I'm thinking of is kind of making this quite a dark scene, and then the monster having kind of like one of those. Have you ever seen it on like the on like the fish that are really like low underwater, so they'll have kind of like something kind of sticking out the top, but it'll have like a light on the end, and then here we can have like a big eye. How would you do a frown if it's like a monster? This is basically just giving you some insight as to what I'm thinking we're going to go with, but with Cooper with his back to it. I think that just, you know, it'd be very dark, and I think the main light source would be this, so that would be shining. We could have like a really nice glossy eye, and then the back of Cooper would be, you know, this would all be pretty much dark here in these areas, and here we'll just have a nice little bit of light just touching the back of the helmet, like he's got no idea. And then the next episode could be him like running, yeah, something like that. Interesting. But yeah, as a concept, that's kind of where I'm thinking the next pages are going to go. And then we could have him running into something. What we could have him running into anything. He could run and stumble across a village. He could run and stumble into another monster, and the two monsters fight each other while he sneaks away. We could have, I mean, we could do literally anything we want. We could have a plane crash into the monster's eye, blind it, like an anglerfish. Yeah, is it an anglerfish? Yeah, or something like that. Very dark on this one. That's kind of where I'm thinking of going for the next page. And it'll follow suit with the whole style. But I'm really glad I managed to get this sorted now. But that frees me up to just do exactly that now. And truth be told, I could probably just draw this tutorial and then just work out how to get Cooper there, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. And this would be like, I don't know, you could hear like a grr or something from the monster. We could have him face the monster, but I feel like that's a cooler image for the story, because that, rather than turn around and just see it. Or actually, Cooper should be looking down at the paw, shouldn't he? He should be looking down. So we like grab his head. And have him have him looking down at the ground. It's very funny. Have him, I don't know, something like that. Funky T was gifted. Benettia was gifted. There we go. Troy, they're all rolling in now. And then he notices the shadow or something like that. Yeah. And then we move to the next page where, or even you could do something where we could literally just, these two here, well, we can press them down in size. Just realised that that is freehand. Cut. Paste. That could be much smaller. For example, let's just uniform this down. Again, put Cooper in the center to move this up. And then you could have extra images at the bottom to really flush out this whole sort of section. Meaning that, like, you know, you then see him with a shadow looming over the top of him, but they'd be color mates. They wouldn't be. So this is, again, this is the only bit that's going to be a tutorial, and then this is going to be color me content. Milo was gifted. There we go. Look at that. It's rolling in now. Appreciate you, Troy, looking after the community almost feels like every week now. You're awesome. So yeah, I think that's cool. What do we reckon? Also, if you are gifted, as has Milo, be sure to thank Troy in the chat. So what we'll do is, if Troy doesn't gift any sort of memberships closer to Christmas, we know it's because he's absolutely rammed in the factory, you know, getting all the elves to make all these presents. So we'll know that Uncle Troy is actually Uncle Santa. Kevin, I have to take off, guys. See you around campus. Kevin, appreciate you dropping in, my friend. Have a wonderful day. Troy, any help is awesome to support the channel. Anything at all. I appreciate you. Sorry, I had a bit of a sweet stuck on my tooth there. Right, let me see if there's anything I can quickly show you that I might have been working on. I don't think there is. Fuck. Damn, nearly. Woo! Goddamn, nearly lost my life. Oh, that'd be bloody awful for you to watch me die on stream. Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're good. I'm fine. I do that all the time, and I get shouted at by Mrs. Create all the time. Oh. Oh, what do you think of this? I don't know how it's going to come across on the exposure. I'm fine. Guys, I appreciate you. I'm fine. I'm good. Nearly goddamn lost my life. There's actually a lot more detail in there than it actually comes across. Right, I did this on purpose. I knew I'd get someone to say the T word. Guys, I need a verdict. Do we time Jesse out for 5 minutes for saying the T word? Because I feel like I've got to set a precedent. The chat already know. I feel like I've got to set a precedent. You can't be getting away with this stuff. I've lured you in, but I have lured you in with a trap. So. I love it, and I love that that's a thing in the chat. You can say the T word. That is, it's going to be a tutorial soon. I don't know where it's going to be. Don't worry. I don't even think you can write the rules, can you, on YouTube? It's annoying. They should be able to write it before somebody comes in. Hang on. Whoa, Joel, relax. You're going to give something away. You're going to start showing designs that we've not done yet. Oh, I was working on this. This was another concept. It's very early doors. It's not nowhere near finished. But it's a concept that I thought you might want to see. Of like a micro world. Very early doors, but it's a pretty nice thing. It's a pretty nice concept to build off of at this point. Oh no, don't make me do it to Jess. Okay, I think we let Jessie off on this one occasion. I think it's fine on this one occasion. Anyway, that's a cool little concept that I'm trying to continue to work on. Yeah, I don't think I've been working on necessarily anything that I can show right now, design-wise. There is a really cool design that comes next week where it's just do it, Joe. I kind of feel like Jessie wants to be timed out at this point. Oh no, see, this is what I mean. I've got to stick to the rules, and I've got to stick to the rules. Because now you've got people like Julie crying like a little, saying that you're the favourite. And we can, oh, God, you're really putting me in a position here. I can't anyway. You're lucky I can't, because I can't. If I open Chrome, I think the whole computer. Oh no! I feel like This can't be happening. Oh, it's just opened over there. It's the chat. The chat making me laugh. Oh, do you know what? I can't be asked. It's like I'm logged in with the wrong account on Chrome right now. I can't be bothered. Just don't time yourself for 5 minutes. Do it for 1. I need to remember to do that actually, to swap the accounts around. I was going to. It's not available. Anyway, yeah, we got a cool little design next week. It's kind of like kind of cartoony, sort of rolling hills, which is kind of nice. We've got the Space Invader one this week. And that's it. I ain't got anything else really. I've not got anything else to say. Oh, giveaway tomorrow. Oh, hang on, just quickly actually. Let me just showcase those products I was talking to you about. So these are from a company called 12 South. I spotted their products online. And I'm just going to grab my iPad out of here a second. sketchboard away for a second. Let's let's go into YouTube a second. Actually, let's go back into Cooper. Okay, so let me just rearrange all of this. So we've got 2 products that were sent to me from 12 staff. There's going to be a video going up on this probably this week. So let's just put the iPad to the side for a second. So we've got these 2 items. Sure. I might be able to zoom out of camera a second. 2 secs. Let's just bring this out a little bit. There you go, that's a bit better. Okay, cool. So we've got these items here. So this is the Park Slope, and this is the Compass Pro. Let's take a look at the Compass Pro first. This one, they're more. I mean, the Park Slope is a mix between being good for your iPad and your MacBook potentially, or any sort of laptop. But this one is cool. You get a nice little case with it, and this is the Compass Pro, where we can split these 2 legs here, and then on the back there's another leg that has sort of a 3-in-1 setup. So you can just extend this, so it's like this by default, and then you can extend it at the back, or you can shove that back in, and you can just pop that leg out there, a little smaller one on the back. It goes all the way out, and then you can just pop that on your table. You get 2 little sort of nibs here at the bottom, and grab your iPad, and you can just pop the iPad in there and draw with it there. So you've got these 2 little bits that stick up on this sort of the bottom area here, but you can quite easily work around it. If you don't want a Sketchboard Pro and you don't want something really big, this is a really nice alternative. Plus the fact that it is compact, you can take it with you if you need to like go to and from work potentially, or school. It's actually really nice. It's really heavily weighted, which is quite nice. It's really very solid, which is really nice. You just pop those little feet back in here at the bottom, just pop them in, fold it down, nice and easy, and there you go. You got a whole little sort of stand that you can take with you. But the cool thing is, obviously, if you're the type of person that maybe uses your iPad for, let's say, school work or actual work, and you maybe use like a keyboard with your iPad, you could just pop this out here, make it as tall as you can, and then you get a really upright orientation, and you can just pop your iPad in there and it's really upright, and you would just have a keyboard down in front here. You could do something like that if you were going to take notes or do some sort of work, which is pretty sweet. Milo, if anybody, by the way, does want any of these, I've not yet set it up, but I can make some affiliate links soon. I think I've got to literally do it tomorrow. So if you do want to hold fire, it would be a way of supporting the channel if you do buy one, but otherwise that's a really nice alternative to something big like a sketchboard, and you can pop it in the case, which is really nice as well. It's got like quite a grippy feel on the inside, which is really cool. And then this is the Park Slope. So this is probably better suited for someone who has like a desk and also has a laptop. What's up, Antonio? How you doing? One of the family, I presume. But yeah, this is the Park Slope. So there's like little sort of rubber parts here, very soft rubber here and here, and then you can just pop your iPad on here. Now, depending on what iPad you have, like I've got an 11-inch iPad Pro. It fits on perfectly. There's a good amount of coverage underneath. I can fit my finger underneath and I can feel that it's nicely supported there, and it's not going to move. And it raises the iPad up. You get that nice drawing angle, so you can just tap away and then start drawing, nice and comfortable. Again, if you don't want a Sketchboard Pro, it's just a nice alternative. Plus, obviously with this one, you could also change the orientation and put it more vertical and then take notes, etc. But if you have a laptop as well, that's pretty sweet, because you can just feed the cables under here, and there's a little hole in the back there, you can see. and that'll just allow you to feed the cables through. So you could just have this. This is metal, and then this is soft, very soft rubber. But yeah, there's 2 really cool products that were sent from me from 12 South. There'll be a video. I want to send the video. Sorry, they'll probably be up next week, early next week. The only thing with the Compass Pro, you get the little feet that stick up at the bottom. If you're happy to get an iPad and draw like this is a great. This Park Slope is a great alternative. Very grippy on the table. Again, it's all about comfort. Raise your iPad up closer to you. You're not going to crane your neck every time drawing over the top of it. It's a lot more comfortable. But yeah, the sketchboard is big. I love the sketchboard because I like to rest on it as well. But yeah, I can understand that for some people they're very big and bulky. Sketchboard Pros, like in comparison, you just bring this absolute beast back in. Jesus wept. And then like pop the iPad back in there. And it's nice, and you know, it's so nice in terms of the fact it's, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? It's nice that it's like flush in here because it just runs edge to edge. You can literally just brush your hand from side to side. Obviously grips on the rubber, but you can grip from side to side, which is awesome. So that's just a look at 2 products. Again, there's going to be a video going out on that probably early next week. So keep an eye out for that. There will be affiliate links set up for that time when that comes around. So, you know, if you want to hold fire or maybe buy one, that'd be great. Support the channel that way, but otherwise, crack on. The Compass Pro and the Park Slope from 12 South. So they were really sound. Sent them out to me. It wasn't not so much their sort of area, but these are actually very good products for the drawings. I'm actually looking at the sketchboard now and actually realizing how big this thing is. You kind of forget how big it is when you use it all the time in comparison to something like that Park Slope, which actually felt really nice to draw on because again, it raises the iPad. I guess the benefit with this is it's a bit bigger so you can rest around it and stuff. So yeah, we've got some gift memberships as well. We've got Paul and Michael getting their gift memberships in the chat. Be sure to thank Troy for your membership that you were gifted. You'll get a little badge beside your name now that shows that you've been a member for a month or maybe 2 if you've had one before. Jay says, I have a Muse case that has a magnetic kickstand built in. It's good for drawing and for safety in case I drop my iPad. Yeah, I've got one of these. So typically my iPad day to day goes in one of these. Goes in one of these, you know, just straightforward, what they call like folio cases, magnetic ones. And then I'll just kick out the back and make that kind of shape there. And then my iPad will be on top of here. So that's typically what I use when I'm not actually drawing at the desk. Right, that's it guys. I'm going to wrap it up. We had good progress on the Cooper series, which was well overdue, which allows me now to get cracking back on again. Also, what do you reckon to this webcam? Do you think it's okay? I'm not too sure about the quality of it. It needs a ton of light, and I've got this massive diffuser above my head now up here. But what do we reckon? If it's any good, let me know, and maybe we'll keep it. And also, yeah, keep an eye out for the giveaway tomorrow. I don't know. It's annoying that it's US only. I can only apologise, but it's not at the same time. I can just only take what I've been given, and it's just their policy. That's all. So well, keep an eye out for it. Maybe you could tag a friend that you otherwise know lives in the States. Marie, they're not set up yet as affiliate links. It's probably something I'm probably going to jump on in a second. So I can send you an affiliate link probably in the next 20 minutes if it's all set up easy for me to do. Awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Appreciate you hanging out as always. It's always good to see familiar faces. Troy, thank you so much for the gifted memberships, and be sure to thank Troy in the chat if you have received one, if you haven't already. What's next week? I feel like something's happening next week, but I can't remember what. But yeah, Maria, if you're interested in those links, I'll send you them in a second. If anybody else is as well, I'll put it in Discord as well, ahead of the video if you want to. The video's not going to be live probably till Tuesday, I would imagine, so they'll probably be a bit shocked that I'm already, maybe doing affiliate links already, but oh well. I've got to stop eating these because otherwise I ain't going to sleep. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for hanging out as always, and we'll see each other again next week. That'll be 3 on the bounce. I'm getting good at this, eh? That'll be 4 on the bounce. Damn. Right, I'm going to try and not lose my life over this last week, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers, folks. Yes, Mummy Marie. I'll stop. Ciao.